If Jose Rizal were alive today, what would he say to us? He might ask, "What have you done for this country?" More than 100 years after his execution, Jose Rizal's presence is still everywhere. On our money, our streets, our schools, and our holidays. But his true legacy is not carved in stone or printed on bills. It lives in the way we think, speak, and serve. Rizal's message was never about worshiping the past. It's all about preparing for the future. Rizal was born in Calamba during the Spanish colonial era, a time when Filipinos were silenced by ignorance and fear. Yet, he believed that the greatest weapon against oppression was education. He studied medicine to heal, literature to awaken minds, and science to understand the world. Through Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, he held up a mirror to a broken society. So why does Rizal still matter today? Well, because his lessons were timeless. A practical playbook for being the citizens we all want to be. First, intellectual independence. Rizal believed that a free nation must begin with free minds. In today's digital world, where misinformation spreads faster than truth, being Rizalian means thinking critically, verifying facts, and reading beyond the headlines. Second, civic nationalism. Rizal's love for the Philippines wasn't about exclusion. It was about dignity. He dreamed of a nation that could stand proudly among others, built not on hate, but on competence and character. Third, moral courage. Rizal spoke against corruption and justice, even when it cost him his safety. His example reminds us that real courage isn't loud. It is doing what's right, even when no one applauds. Fourth, human dignity and the rule of law. He believed that every Filipino, rich or poor, man or woman, deserves respect and justice. At a time when shortcuts and impunity still exist, Rizal's call for fairness and transparency remains a guiding light. And finally, service through competence. Rizal didn't just dream of change, he built it, one project at a time. He showed that true leadership means using skill to serve others, not power to control them. So Rizal's wisdom fits perfectly in the modern world. On social media, he would remind us to think before we share and to debate with respect, not rage. In the government, he would remind us that patriotism means accountability, showing up, speaking up, and demanding integrity. In education, he'd challenge schools to produce not just graduates, but nation builders, thinkers, makers, and problem solvers. Even abroad, Rizal's example speaks to the millions of Filipinos working overseas. Master global skills, stay proud of your roots, and use what you've learned to uplift your homeland. And in our battle against climate change and inequality, he'd urge us to act with both intelligence and compassion, to care for our people and our planet. So Rizal's greatest gift was not his death, but his discipline, a daily practice of thinking clearly, working skillfully, and serving selflessly. He showed that love of country is not just emotion, but an effort. It's in paying taxes honestly, or simply by helping a neighbor, or simply doing our jobs with integrity. Rizal's revolution didn't end at Bagong Bayan. It continues every time a Filipino chooses to read, to think, and to build a better tomorrow. When we live this way, Rizal's legacy is no longer just history, it becomes our way of life.